Well, it's been 2 weeks since we AI'd the cows and hauled them out to the pasture down at Dad's. So it's time to run over to the neighbor's place and pick up the cleanup bull that we're going to be renting from him for the next 45 or 50 days. Let's go get him loaded. I have always loved getting people out on a gravel road and letting them see the farm life firsthand, whether it's in the field at our full-time farming jobs or here at home on our own little cattle ranch. So now I'll bring the camera along and you sit back and ask the questions. Let's explore this Midwestern farming and ranching lifestyle together. This is your channel. This is Dodge Brothers Farm and Ranch. All right, now some of you might be wondering why we even need a bull since we artificially inseminated the cows 2 weeks ago. And you may have noticed that I referred to this bull as a cleanup bull. When you artificially inseminate, you are you're rarely ever going to get 100% conception rate, especially the first time. 65 to 75% is pretty good if you do a good job. So the likelihood is that we've got probably a couple cows that are not bred at this point. And it's extremely costly to end up at the end of the summer with a cow that does not have a calf growing inside of her, because that's the entire business model and the entire purpose behind having the cows out there grazing and eating hay all the time is so that they can produce a calf to produce beef. That's why they're called beef cows. So to ensure that we have done everything we can to make sure that we're going to have a calf out of every cow, we put what we refer to as a cleanup bull out with the cows a couple weeks after we AI, and his job is to clean up, so to speak, what we did not get done with the artificial insemination. So hopefully he's not going to have a whole lot to do over the next couple weeks, because I'm hoping that we got most of them AI'd. I won't mind if we end up getting a few calves out of this bull, because it's always neat to see the difference between two sires and how their calves look compared to each other. But I want to get most of the calves out of the bull that we AI'd to, obviously. That's why you do it. Now when we get there with the bull, we're going to bring the cows up into the corral if they will come, so that they can get acquainted with each other quick before we turn them out to roam all over the place. All right, I just got up to the pasture and I see my brother hasn't brought the cows in yet, so I'm just going to sit back here around the corner and watch and kind of stay out of the way, because I don't really want the cows to see the trailer. They might think something weird's going on and they might not want to come in. So I'm going to hang out here and wait for him to bring them in. Well, he got him in with no trouble. So I'm going to walk back and get the truck and trailer and introduce the bull to the cows.
This looks like a pasture to me.
Well, I'd say that went okay. The beginning of a beautiful romance.
Come and go. Half an hour so it's backwards shape. I mean, it's like this. Yeah, right.
Now, for those of you who are wondering why we wait 2 weeks to put the bull out with them after we AI, that's a good question. See, a cow cycles about every 20-21 days if she is not pregnant. anywhere from 18 to 22, 23 days is pretty normal. So with a 21-day cycle, if you wait 2 weeks to put the bull out, you should be ahead of the next cycle if any of them were synchronized but did not take the AI. But what you're also safeguarding against is if some of them maybe weren't synchronized properly and they came into heat just a day or two after we AI'd, if you had the bull out there right away, we might not know for sure when it comes time to ultrasound or even when the calf is born who the father is. And we really want to keep good records about who the sire of every calf is. So that's why we wait. And to go along with that, we're only going to leave the bull out there for about 45 to 50 days. We want to give him 2 more cycles to get the cows bred that didn't get bred in the first place. And any of them that get further behind than 2 cycles, we're not going to want to keep them around because it's really going to mess up calving. It's going to mess up breeding the next year. And it's going to be impossible for that cow to catch up with the rest of the herd. Anyway, hopefully that answers a couple of your questions. Thanks for riding along today, and we'll see you next time.